networks, and he's also a cybersecurity expert and keeps on helping the cops and other people about cybersecurity. So guys, let us know what are bitcoins really?
Let's make one distinction. So there's one thing which is Bitcoin, which is a system, and then Bitcoins, which is the actual currency. And Bitcoins are formed on this underlying technology called blockchain. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but it is not the only cryptocurrency in the world. There are hundreds of other cryptocurrencies also, but Bitcoin is the major one. The reason there is a lot of talk about Bitcoin is, as I said, it's the most popular cryptocurrency. It has been established in 2009-2010 by a pseudo-anonymous person called Satoshi Nakamoto.
Okay.
And it has a lot of its principles about how it works in gold. So people normally say that you mine bitcoins, and that analogy comes from gold because you mine gold.
Okay.
That is sort of
so.
the
But
short.
let's make it simple as it. As a lame person, I don't know anything about it. So, can I buy a bitcoin?
Yes, you can.
So I can buy a bitcoin sitting here in Belgaum itself.
Yes, you can buy a bitcoin sitting anywhere in the world.
Okay. So we'll go questions one by one. We have already a few questions we already sent. So we'll take one by one. If you have more questions, you can start pouring in the comments. We'll try and answer a few if we can. This is the first time we are doing this live. So there can be hiccups, there could be audio issues, there could be video issues, but we are just trying to do it for the first time. Okay. So what are the disadvantages? How safe is this investment basically?
See, with respect to investment, it is as safe as any other investment. Now, it may not be as safe as gold, but you can think of it to be as safe as the stock market, right? If you buy shares of company XYZ, you think that company is going to do well and your share value is going to increase, and it goes along similar lines, right? If you believe in the faith of Bitcoin, if you believe that the world is going to go from fiat currencies into digital currencies, and if you believe in the benefits that Bitcoin offers, you may invest and reap benefits. If you do not, then the risk level is as good as any other commodity that you are buying or selling.
Okay. So we have another question here. Who is the custodian of Bitcoins?
Well, nobody and everybody is the custodian of Bitcoin. So there is no central authority, if that's what the question was. There is no one person or one organization or one board of directors that decides what Bitcoin is going to be in the future or what it will not be in the future. It has its own network of computers that basically handle all the transactions, and that you can be a part of that network and hence sort of in a direct sense be part of Bitcoin itself.
Okay.
And that's how. So basically, this comes from this distributed notion of Bitcoin where there is no central authority.
Okay. So everybody owns everything of every part of the network.
Correct. And so if you are trading with the Bitcoin system, you actually can see each and every transaction that has happened till date. Right?
Okay.
Which is not what your bank will show you in the normal day.
So does it mean that Uday can know how many Bitcoins Hitesh has bought?
Yes, if you know what my again, like we will have to just simplify a little further, right? So when you send Bitcoin from person A to person B, you are basically sending it to what is called their Bitcoin wallet, right? And the Bitcoin wallet is sort of a long string of digits and alphabets, right? So it's something which may seem garbage, but basically think of that to be our account number in some sense, right? So if you know my account number, then yes, you can know to whom I traded with and with what. But there will not be Hitesh.
Okay, there won't be a username
there somewhere. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So it is. You can see, but it is pseudo anonymous.
Okay, it's pseudo anonymous. We'll go with that. And what is the minimum amount one needs to invest in a Bitcoin?
So basically, the Bitcoin can be divided into. You can divide a Bitcoin until the 8th decimal place. Right? So you can technically have 0.00000001 Bitcoins, which is called a Satoshi. So that is the minimum amount that you can trade in. Right? As of today, if I mean, theoretically speaking, that will be lesser than 100 rupees. Right? So it depends on exchanges. Some.
So what's the rate of a Bitcoin today, or the latest one that I've seen?
Until this morning, it was about 3 lakh rupees.
For one Bitcoin?
For one Bitcoin, yes.
Okay, that's a lot of money, but that money really won't be yours. So be careful. You have to still listen to the person, because we're just trying to open the envelopes yet. Okay, so what about the legality in India?
So the legality in India is a big question mark because the Indian government and the regulators have gone back and forth. Initially, it was an open question, so nobody actually knew. So people went on trading. Sometime in the middle of last year, it was declared to be illegal.
Yes.
But as of today, there is actually a committee formed that is supposed to come up with regulations for Bitcoin.
Okay.
So going forward, a lot of countries in the world have adopted cryptocurrencies. So the United States officially recognizes Bitcoin as a commodity. They don't recognize it as a currency.
Okay.
They
So
recognize
this
it
is
as
one
a
point.
commodity.
So Bitcoins is recognized as a commodity. This has
In
to
the
be,
US, yes.
So this is something like what you buy in a stock exchanges like gold
Correct.
or any other commodity that you buy. This is very similar to that sense, what he's trying to say.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, something is getting clearer in my life. Okay.
Try to make it as clear as we can.
How much time exactly does it take to settle the transaction between two parties? That is the one. Between, say, A and B. I want to buy and you want to sell.
Correct. Again, so there is this very beautiful notion within Bitcoin that if you're ready to pay a higher fee, your transaction is going to be settled faster. Right?
Okay.
So technically, you can have a large transaction and pay a very small fee, and it will take a long time to settle. Right.
Okay.
We will not go into the details of how this happens for ease of simplicity, but just understand that since the network is working together to confirm these transactions, right? If you offer a higher incentive, someone within the network will take that incentive and confirm the transaction.
Okay.
So,
Just very similar to what in share market happens.
correct.
If this
So
bidding at 100, I say I'll pay you 110, so automatically my order get triggered.
correct.
So very similar to that, right?
Yes. So if you are willing to pay a high fee, you can probably transact so the beautiful part is if you are willing to pay a high fee, you can actually transact currency across the world in under 10 minutes, right? And now that is not a benefit that you see with the current
Yes, the stock market
financial
or anyway.
systems. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is the future of Bitcoin if I invest now? I don't know.
Nobody knows actually. See, it's all up to whether what your understanding and what your belief is about the Bitcoin system, right? It has gone up and gone down numerous times in the past. I personally know a lot of people who have invested a lot of money and lost it and then recovered it back again, right? So think of it like the stock market, right? This is not a golden egg that you can buy and it will give you returns for life. So think of it as a commodity with risk and
commodity
invest.
with risk. The
Yes.
most important
So-
point. It's a commodity and with high risk. And the biggest question, which is the site to buy? Because if you search Bitcoin on Google, you get thousands Bitcoin India, Bitcoin. So
Correct.
what is the official site?
There is no official site, right? So all of these people are operating exchanges, right? And they are essentially companies by themselves that are providing this to you as a service. So they are providing this exchange point between the Bitcoin world and the world.
And
that
all these
you and
transactions
me-
happen on, means I suppose I want to buy 100 Bitcoins today. So I go to some Bitcoin site and I pay using online banking.
Yeah, with your debit card, your credit card, your
Okay,
net
and
banking.
then my accounts get credited with those Bitcoins.
Yeah.
That are
So,
there.
so basically, the firm that you are buying or selling with will actually create all these wallets and
Okay.
Bitcoin addresses for you, and you will have it there. So
Okay.
you can, as of right now, just go on the internet and buy Bitcoin using your debit card.
Okay, now let us see if there are any questions that are coming up in the comment. Can you see? Sure, we need to see our mobile because by this time you should be clear that this is a commodity, it's high risk, and you should really be sure that if you are investing, it could become a cooperative bank. So, because this is what is happening currently in Belgavi. So, if you are investing in a Bitcoin, be sure that you are donating somewhere, and you could be also another cooperative bank. Okay, so he's just looking at the questions. If there are a few, and you will just try and get back an answer.
So I think there's
What is? You can say, tell his name as well.
there's Mr. Sandeep Shet, I think. So he says, what are the benefits of Bitcoin? So the benefits are that you are no longer bound to a central authority, and that's where a lot of this Bitcoin development has come from, right? So
Okay.
it's people who believe that financial system should be not under the control of a central authority, right?
Okay.
Again, this sort of stems from this open source movement that would people have seen in the past, right? They don't
Okay.
want one person to be in control,
Okay.
and the same thing, same thought applies to financial systems also.
Okay.
And so the benefits are sort of like, imagine you had to send someone money who is in the United States, for example, right? It takes you not less than 2 days for a wire transfer to go to the United States, right?
Okay.
Whereas with if you had a Bitcoin wallet and the other person had a Bitcoin wallet, it would take you less than an hour, and he would have
Okay.
his money, right? There have been a lot of examples like this where I think sometime last year ICICI Bank did a transaction between Mumbai and Dubai.
Okay.
For I think $100 or something $1 million within half an hour. Right? So there are a lot of benefits to this effort, and there are pitfalls also. Right? There is no one authority, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions? Which is other cryptocurrencies other than popular than Bitcoin is another question that we have.
So the next popular currency I think is Litecoin, which is sort of the second most popular currency. Ethereum is also a blockchain based smart contract kind of
Okay,
approach that is coming up
these words
these
are
days.
very, very Ethereum.
Yeah, well, there's a good amount of literature on them online, so you
Okay.
can look them up, and that's not a problem.
Okay, we have Praveen Kumar Angada who is asking, is Bitcoin transaction legal? Most of the questions are, coming on the
On
legality.
the legality side. So yes, see, as of right now, if you go by Indian regulatory thought, we don't know, right? Because
Okay.
there is no set policy set out
Okay.
as such. Right now, all you can think of at a higher level is that it is unregulated in India.
Okay.
Yes, the United States government and a lot of other governments across the world have put in place their ways of handling Bitcoin investments and transactions. So I would say that it's legal as long as you are not sort of doing criminal work with it at this point.
Okay. We have many questions. Are there any tax benefits or implications in India?
Not at all.
Aditya
Right?
Patil is asking this. So Aditya, let Hitesh answer
Yeah,
that.
so there's no tax benefit. There is no incentive that the government offers you for investing in Bitcoin. Just think of it as you are buying gold, right? If you buy gold today and probably hold it for long, and you believe that gold is rare, it will increase in value.
Definitely.
And you if you go by that chain of thought, you can apply the same chain of thought to Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin today, right? There is no tax benefit or any incentive that the government offers. Let me just make that very clear that there is nothing of that sort. Again, like so, think of like Bitcoin has this notion of store of value, right? You essentially say that I don't want to keep my assets or whatever money I have. I don't want to keep them in Indian rupees, right?
Okay,
I want to keep it in something that I believe in a little more. So that can be Bitcoin, that can be gold, that can be silver,
Okay.
and Bitcoin is just one of them.
Okay. So there are a few comments similar to an Apu system. We really can't say that, but I told you that it's a commodity. That's what he said. The main point you have to understand here
it
is. So
a
you have to,
commodity.
it's a commodity, and if somebody has traded on commodity on the stock exchange, you really know how it can go volatile. So you have to be there.
Yeah. So
How will you? Raj Somay has a question now. How will I get back the money if I sold the Bitcoin to someone?
I mean, I quite don't understand. So if you bought
No,
Bitcoin and you sent it to me,
No, I bought a Bitcoins.
Okay.
Say 100 Bitcoins for someone, and today I'm in need of money. So I
so
sold
you
my
can
100.
you can sell the same 100 Bitcoins back to the exchange, and
Okay.
they will give you your Indian rupees back.
Oh, so they give you the money back.
Yes.
And
So-
they take some commission for that, or they.
Yes. So they again, like a stock exchange, right? They have a
Okay.
buy rate and a sell rate.
Okay.
So,
And that does happen. Means my basic question that
yes.
it does happen. I sell 100, I get the money back.
Yes,
it's
yes,
not
yes.
that you sell and okay, Tata, bye
Correct.
bye.
But
See you.
then, see, it's dependent on the rate on that day, right? So
Okay.
you may buy today and sell it on Monday, but
Okay.
there is no assurance that the rate you bought today and the rate you sell on Monday is going to be the same.
Okay,
Right?
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Do you know the Indian government is thinking of regulating crypto in India? I think he spoke about it, but
Yeah.
let me. Siddharth Balekund is asking this question.
Yeah, so there is a committee formed right now by the Ministry of Finance that is currently looking to formalize regulations on how to deal with cryptocurrencies in general. That report is not out yet, especially for public viewing.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe any day now we will know about the government.
And Manish Banur is asking how to register. Provide us the link.
Sorry, how to register?
How to register to buy a Bitcoin? Provide us the link.
Go to google.com, say Bitcoin buy India, and you will get hundreds of options. I don't want to endorse any one of them.
Yes.
So
that's
the risk is yours.
Sandeep Patil is asking: is it really beneficial to invest in Bitcoins?
See, this question doesn't have a yes or a no answer, right? I can give you an example for what happened in a country called Cyprus, right? So basically, their currency was diluted when the government had a problem there. They went into financial crisis, right? And at that point in time, the citizens of Cyprus thought that rather than storing their worth in the local currency, it was they had more belief in bitcoins, right? And at that point, people who actually used bitcoins to store their lifelong savings actually benefited, right? Now that is a very edge case scenario, right? Because the country went under, but a lot of people there is argument on both sides, right? There is a good argument on one side that says the world should run on one currency, and trade will be simpler when we all are on one platform versus there is exchange rates. But then there is also this notion of who controls it, right? So you have to reason about it on your own and decide with what school of thought you stand with.
Girish Podar is asking what is the exchange commission. So it's basically similar to what.
Yeah, every exchange has its own buy and sell rate. Some of them work on a percentage basis. Some of them work on a flat fee. There is no set answer to that. Depends on the exchange.
Now Praveen Kumar is asking one more. I only know Bitcoin is used for ransomware decryption key in underground market, but any particular intention of promoting the Bitcoin?
I am not promoting Bitcoin. I myself do not own any Bitcoin.
Same here. But this is a specific topic we selected today because there were many questions people asking us about Bitcoins and where we can buy them in Belgavi. So what we thought was it cannot be bought in Belgavi. It can be bought anywhere in the world. It's only that we try to decrypt what is Bitcoins, and that is why Hitesh is here.
Yeah. So again, I can tell you how I know about Bitcoins. I know about Bitcoins is because my master's thesis was on understanding how Bitcoins affect the cyber criminal world.
So we are getting it out from the horse's mouth. He knows everything about Bitcoins.
That's where my expertise in Bitcoins come from, right? And yes, that's one more argument that people have, right? That Bitcoin has enabled a lot of cyber criminals to transact without the knowledge of governments or without having any intervention. And you are right. Ransomware people who run ransomware campaigns do use Bitcoin to extract money from their victims. And that's a very legitimate concern you have, that it is used in the criminal world. What I would say to that is that think of it as a tool, right? You have a knife at your home, you use it to cut vegetables and make a decent meal, and you can also use that knife to hurt someone.
Definitely,
right? It's don't blame the tool for what it is being used for. It is, I can tell you in terms of technology that it's considered to be one of the most biggest leaps in financial systems technology in the last decade, right? So some people even think of Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies to be better than artificial intelligence in how much they will contribute to the world, right? So it's a tool. Don't think of it to be good or bad.
We have Rudragowda Patil just asking ETHER. Is this something another part?
Ethereum
is what Ether is. So Rudragowda Patil, that is nothing but another type of cryptocurrency.
So it's actually not a cryptocurrency. That probably warrants its own video.
Okay. So
he can email me if he wishes to know.
Okay, you can email it to him. Can you just tell your email address?
Hitesh@informalnetworks.com.
Okay, so Atharva Siddhanavar is asking what was Ethereum. Now, there's a question about Ethereum.
Ethereum is also something somewhat like Bitcoin. It's sort of on a crypto backed mathematical foundations laid system that is used for contracts. That's what I can say in a small sentence that is not confusing. It is again used for, it has the same principles. There is an Ethereum network. You can send contracts to each other. You can exchange financial, you can do financial transactions.
Raj Somaya is asking a few more questions here. What is the security in Bitcoin by whom we bought? Because it is illegal. what if it doesn't give you after paying? That is, I think, what the question is.
That's actually a good question, and it actually reminds me of something, right? So, again, so Bitcoin is not illegal. But it can happen that the exchange from which you bought Bitcoin from actually closes down, right? And that's what happened with an exchange called Mt. Gox.
Okay, Mount Gox, that is
in
what
Japan.
is trying to tell you.
So Mt. Gox was an exchange. You could go there and buy bitcoins, and they got hacked, and the people stole those bitcoins, and we till date do not know.
So it was some kind of online bank robbery.
Yes, exactly. It was a robbery. It's just that instead of happening at a bank, it happened at a Bitcoin exchange.
Okay.
And Mt. Gox was gone, and people lost
All their money.
all their money. So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I would have to say for that.
Now, Vijay Baghi is. What about Yumcap? I'm not sure what Yumcap is.
Neither do I.
When somebody else, Shweta Solapur has replied that Yumcap is a scam. So there are people who are replying to your own queries. So this is what we really want, People know about something, but they are not really now. Yumcap is a scam. We were also not really knowing about it.
Yeah, so actually that brings me to one point, right? So since Bitcoin has had such a large amount of popularity, there are schemes now called initial coin offerings, ICOs.
Okay.
Right?
Just like you have in
So,
the IPOs and all those
correct, exactly like that, right? So what they tell you is that, hey, here is, did you hear about Bitcoin? It has risen in value by so much amount, and we are coming up with this new cryptocurrency, and you have a chance to buy the cryptocurrency before it goes mainstream. Right?
Mainstream.
So it's basically people are trying to sell you a dream, saying, hey, see the benefits of Bitcoin, and if you want those same benefits, we
Okay.
have. So OneCoin was one of those scams, right, where
Okay.
a lot of people were tricked.
Now Rudra Gowda Patil is asking Ether versus Bitcoin, which is good.
They are both tools. If you want to execute a contract, Ethereum. If you want to send money to someone in the US, Bitcoin. So
Sarvesh Bhutada is asking how to buy Bitcoin. You already said that.
yeah, you
Again,
can buy it at any exchange.
Google.
There are hundreds of them in India.
You can
Indian
just Google.
established
You
exchanges.
can just Google there and get
Yeah,
the link.
you just Google for Bitcoin Exchange India, and you will have options.
Okay, the people are now started chatting about Yumcap and how those things, about details of Yumcap.
Well,
So this is good. So, well, Aditya Bhatt is asking what is the apex body that regulates or monitors it to look after irregularities, etc.
nobody. There is no regulatory body at all. It is a free floating system, right? So basically, trust is. So let me tell it to you this way, right? Bitcoin has value is because I believe it has value, and that's it, right?
Okay.
Why- it's as simple as that. Why do you think? So, but me and Uday agree that gold is valuable is because Uday finds gold valuable and I find gold valuable.
Okay.
And the same thing applies to Bitcoin. There is no central authority that is going to come to your rescue if something goes wrong, right? And that's
Okay.
considered as one of the drawbacks or limitations when compared to the current system. Because in the current system, if you, let's say someone steals your credit card and buys something, you can actually complain to the
Yes,
bank and get the
yes.
transaction reverted.
That is
That is not possible in Bitcoin.
That is what he basically intended
Correct.
to tell you, I believe. Well, we have again mining or buying. Now, what is this mining or buying? What is this?
Well, so Bitcoin came up with this. The Bitcoin system has this mechanism of introducing new Bitcoins in the world at
Okay.
a steady rate, right? So
Okay.
there is a process called mining, which basically solves mathematical puzzles, and solving those mathematical puzzles gives rise to new Bitcoin, right? Again, I'm oversimplifying. This is may not be technically correct, but it's meant to give you an idea. So essentially, you can the way you mine is that you provide your computation power. Your computer will use time and electricity and effort to solve these puzzles. And if you solve one of those puzzles, then you will essentially be creating Bitcoin, right? The award for solving one of those puzzles used to be 25 Bitcoin. In today's date, it's about 12 Bitcoin.
Okay.
So, which is a lot of money. These puzzles get harder and harder over time, right?
Okay.
So initially, you could actually, I think someone has asked this question also.
Yes.
Initially, you could mine bitcoins on a laptop, right?
Yes.
These days, you need really, really high-end systems to do that, right?
Okay.
Someone had asked questions about NVIDIA graphics cards. No, even those are not good enough anymore to mine bitcoins. Currently, bitcoins are mined in huge server farms in China and in places where electricity costs are low, and
Okay.
they are football fields long server farms that are used to mine Bitcoin. So it is out of reach of the normal human to get Bitcoins via mining. If you want to play with them, just invest a small amount of money.
I think the same questions are again, coming up and up. And there is Shweta Solapurkar. I think she's into this Bitcoin thing and knows a lot of things. She's answering. Thank you, Shweta, for doing so, because we are not
Thanks for taking the load.
Because this basically people have knowledge, but they don't know, and they go inside, they invest, and then it's later on, mera paisa chala gaya. So you really can't do anything with that. See, this is the first time that we really wanted to. We don't both own any. There are disclaimers.
Yeah.
We are nothing to with Bitcoin. We took this as the first live session that we wanted to do because there were many questions people were asking me, also him, about Bitcoins. So we thought that, okay, let us tell people about Bitcoins. This is just the first part. We will keep on telling you about new technologies. He's a security expert, so we will tell you about the ransomware that are coming in the next sessions that are coming, and tell you how to secure your computer and many other things that come in